there's something we need to address. In order for you to go on this tour to the places that we are being called to work in the coming months and years, there is a contract with the 4D Gaia that you're being asked to dissolve. 4D Gaia is where people work with lower vibrational energies, earthbound spirits, etc., etc. And there is absolutely a place for that. I started my grid work in that version of Gaia. But we are explicitly setting the intention to work with a different set of grids and a different set of things. And in order for us to go there and you to tune in to the version of Gaia that we'll be working in, you are being invited to release the contract as a grid worker of 4D Gaia. Oh my goodness. I literally, sometimes I get blown away that these people are even in my field, like that I'm so blessed to have these people by my side. Like, I love them so dearly. I just, the new earth is not about the all yay me show, you know, like yay JJ show. It's not about that. That's why I have to model it. Like, I have to model that it's not just like one guru standing up there. It's energetic, it's visual, it's all the things. And the demand for this type of thing is going to expand, and we're going to, what I'm hearing from our guides is we are going to refine our particular gifts, and we are going to hold space for those who are in the same sort of soul family, if that makes sense, who have the same sort of jobs that we do and duties that we do. Whereas right now, I'm calling us all in. Right. You know, there's a few of us out there, but not like hundreds, I would say. And so it's like, well, what's going to happen when the demand is millions of people? We're all going to be doing our thing like this, but multiplied exponentially. I know that. I can feel everybody like, oh, me? Yes, you. Yes, you. And you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you. So yeah, like this is it. This is the beginning, and it's incredible. Okay. Everybody take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. We're here. Like, we came, we showed up, we're here. Let's go ahead and energetically do a little bit of coming into our root.
Can I ask the light language team to bring forward some codes for grounding? Thank you.
Alright, just taking some deep breaths, like audible. This is it's like a grandmother energy that wants to come through, but it's also earth grandmother for the heart chakra and the throat chakra. Wontikiana wochakiana haya. Wontitinamaya wochakya. Hai nilai wonakiana. Ganditini mama wochamani. O mamani yaya. O matutara. Om tituna ayana vocha. Gandilinik wona somfrachiekya. Woa. Wonik mayana. Wonitik awona yacha. Ooh, you're just being embraced right now. It's like a very sweet, loving energy. Ooh, oh my dudara. Oh my dudara. Oh my dudara. Koni waka mocha yana mocha. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you. So this is already beginning what you guys know. I set the intention. I told you the 3 steps for grid work are call in the, connect with the earth mothers and earth fathers, connect with the star mothers and star fathers, and go into the void. Today, I want to do it this way. So then I'm going to have earth mothers, earth fathers, star fathers is going to do the equal and opposite anchoring for us with our star families, and then we'll go into the void.
Thank you, JJ. Om Shaya. Oh Shayana. Oh Shayana. Asayata. Orkanaya. Alalalala. Arshikanana. Orkanana. Asayakanana tata. Alalalalala. Yashmonya. Ondiai. Urutoya. Urutoya. Astoyona. Unai. Astonoyaya. Onaya naya. Astanonoya. Oyana nono. Oya koyanana. Oya konanana. Oya konanana. Asontononaya. Asontononaya. Oshotononona. Anoya yanana. None sayanana. Ayananana. Thank you. I'm complete. And so it is.
Thank you. Many of you have heard that sound coming from other people. That's a really helpful sound for sealing an activation. And so if you can just, do that. Okay, there you go. Breathing, doing whatever you need to do to get that solidified and anchored. So we're earth, we're stars, And now taking ourselves into the void. But before we do that, some of you are jumping the gun. Check your dial, okay? It's like I feel like some of you just need to put your pinky toe or your pinky finger in the void. And that's okay. You can maybe put your hand there. So just sort of decide how far and deep you want to go into the void. We just need to connect with it in order to maximize the time that we have together. And then just saying to yourself, there's no such thing as time. There's no such thing as time. And space is infinite and unlimited. Space is infinite and unlimited. There you go. Once you have dipped into the void as much as you would like, anywhere from 0 to 1 to 10, let's say 1 to 10, I want you to gently come back to a place where you can write some things down. This might be words, it might be codes. I'm really feeling called as I sort of do a little bit of presenting right now and speaking to you, to have you doodle whatever you need to do to release any programming that you're distracted. The doodling will help you connect up what I'm saying. Some of you might actually move your hands, and just do like light language stuff. So we'll do that. I'm going to tell you a story. At 6 o'clock this morning, when my husband started snoring so loud, I had to stay up. And then his higher self said that he's actually waking you up so that you can get downloads, and that's why he snores. Because I can't sleep when he's snoring. It's like, I want to sleep longer. I can't do it. So then as soon as that happens, all this stuff starts dropping in. And I was like, wow, you guys really come in at the very last minute for this. And everything just fell into place. So what are we going to do today? We're going to do orientation. We're going to do a tour of Gaia and her grids, right? Yes, exactly. And who's going to help us do that? The whales and the dragons. And why is it the whales and the dragons? Because we need a very large tour guide. We need a very large being, a large essence, a large energy to take us on the tour of a very large place, a large building, which is Gaia. Okay, so we're going to call in the biggest ones, right? We're going to call in the largest dragons and the largest whale energies, and I'll walk you through this whole tour. And everybody's going to have a little different experience. Some of the tour will be open-ended. Some of it I'll be like, everybody's going here. And then at a certain point, okay, everybody go off and do this thing, and then we'll come back together. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody has a different role. So just know that is in my field. That is step one after we do the tour, is to go to the rehabilitate, realign, and then reactivate. Remember those steps? Rehabilitate, realign, and reactivate for each of the types of grids. And we were going to start with the inner earth because we're going to go start with the inner earth, mainly because like the Star Mothers group, we're doing the outer. You guys heard me say that. I was actually shown something else today though. They said the crystalline is in the diamond is in the middle and on the outside. So remember where the DNA is, where all the 4 chambers meet in the diamond chamber. There's that diamond's layer in the middle. It's not crystal, it's diamond. There's a difference. And there's diamond on the very center, and there's diamond on the very outside of Gaia. That's the download right there. This image that I literally did put up here because I knew I wasn't supposed to be using the image I used last year because I'm in a new timeline and I couldn't figure one out. I literally haphazardly chose this. It looks pretty. Oh, look, blue is my color. And then every time I turn around, they're like, oh, this is exactly what you're talking about. Point to it because it's exactly what you're talking about. It's a visual aid. Okay, sorry. We have to have inner child, right? We got to have the inner child. How many of you were in that gathering where I used to teach preschool and there were these ropes that had these little handles on them, and when you go on a field trip with kids, there's like a handle for the kids and everybody was in their line, right? It happened in the gathering. We literally went somewhere and I said, okay, we're going to get the rope and we're going to get like everybody grab onto this rope, you know. It was like kindergarten again. It was so funny. We're going to do a little different. We're all going to have our own individual tour guide today. But let's just sit for a second in what I've dropped in so far. I think I'm feeling drawn to have everybody tune into their emotional body. I don't know why, but our guides are asking us to tune into our emotional bodies and to write in the chat the emotion that's coming forward for you. Don't judge it. Like if it's fear, don't be like, oh, I don't want to be the only one that says it. Doesn't matter. Just feel what the body wants to say, witness the emotional body, and write down in the chat what the emotional body is feeling, if you're able to write that down. Thank you. Let me read these. Okay. Giddy, excitement, frustration, confusion, worry, stability, openness, grounding, love, excitement, physically a little bit of nausea, peace, joy, overwhelm, peace, joy, overwhelm, bits of excitement, happy, curious, confusion, excited and curious, a little bit of doubt, happiness, timid, excitement, a little overstimulated. I would say that probably is overwhelmed too, because when you say those words, it feels like overwhelmed would be the emotion connected to overstimulated. Scattered, fun, confusion, calm, excited, unsure. They would like the higher selves of our collective would like to invite you to predominantly work on the collective emotional bodies. So if there's any part of the body you work on, which is interesting because a lot of times it's the physical body, but right now it's the emotional body. So if you can focus what you do on the emotional body. So there's a few more emotions coming in. Excitement, a little staticky, unclear. Okay, that's confusion, right, too? Content is coming in and a little insecure, okay? Exhausted and overwhelmed, beautiful. Place your hands on your heart. Express gratitude and love to your emotional body for being willing to share that with us. And then take a moment to witness your gratitude to everyone in the group for sharing that. You are seen and you are heard. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, perfect. Gratitude and love for everyone in this group. Thank you for being here. I think we're ready. I think we're ready to go on this tour and receive part of our orientation as grid workers of Gaia. So this is where you need to make yourself cozy, comfortable. All you need is the audio. I'm going to recommending stay in your body with the emotions. Let go of the story and just be with them. Let go of the story and just be with them. Bringing your hands together as if you were doing namaste or prayer position, and you can place your thumbs on your chest. There is an invitation to treat what we are doing with reverence and respect. So release any religious programming you have about, this. And we are being invited to honor the sanctity of this gathering. And they know that some of the words I'm saying have religious connotation, but again, please release any of that programming that's not serving you with relation to those words, and redefine that word for yourself. What does sanctity mean? What does sanctity feel like? What does reverence feel like? Why does it serve us to come into this energy before we start? One of the reasons is because as we all come into the energy of reverence and sanctity, we can come into heart coherence more easily. So it is allowing us to come into heart coherence very naturally, very organically, without trying. Inai, totorenai, aya shoi anaya. You have been here before. You have done this before. Your body knows what to do. I feel the Star Mothers very strongly at the crown. And I feel the Earth Mothers almost tickling our feet, but I think they're calibrating our feet. I don't know what they're doing. They're doing some on our feet. Can you feel the tingling on the feet? On the toes? It's okay to laugh. That's the inner child. I think they're partially distracting us from the fact that our crown chakras are blasting wide open right now. It's a sleight of hand. Look over here while we just maximize your crown. Oh yeah, just breathe. Do whatever with your hands you need to do now, just whatever you need to do. Move your hands, lay your hands, rest your body. We're ready. Fantastic. This is a tour of the gridwork of Gaia. I see us walking through a portal that is has a dragon that's keeping the portal. She looks very friendly, very feminine. I would say purple and green is what I'm getting from the way she looks. She actually has like a clipboard almost, like she's ready for us kind of a thing. And she's opening a door. So let's just go through that door. Setting our intention that as we proceed, everything we experience will be for our greatest and highest good, and the greatest and highest good of the collective. Setting the intention that we will stand in our sovereignty, that we will surrender into sovereignty, that we will manage our own personal energy as sovereign beings, that we will release any and all programs, subconscious programs of victim, or being left behind is what I'm hearing. Like being part of a group and feeling left behind is one that we're going to release right now. Also, any and all programming related to something about your memory. Some of you feel like you don't remember things easily, and it's like you're just like paranoid that we're going to go through this whole tour and you're going to forget what we do or something. So you got to release that right now. Your brain has the capacity to remember anything and everything it needs to. At any moment in time, you can call that information forward. So stay present in the moment and know that everything you receive in the moment, in the present moment, will be remembered very easily. If you are not in the present moment and going through this tour, or not in your body fully and go through this tour, it will be more difficult for you to remember. And for those of you who you feel your heart beat accelerating a little bit, just take some time to speak a little bit of deceleration into the heart and slow down the heartbeat just a little bit. That's really your nervous system, to be completely honest. So it's just proactively facilitating a surrender level, safety level for your nervous system. Okay, wonderful. So as we enter this place and we begin this tour, all of us have an individual guide assigned to us. And there are going to be portions where we're together and others where your individual guide will take you to a specific place. Some of the things we visit, we cannot see even in astral. We're not calibrated to that. So they will be almost projected on a screen, like a hologram. And I want you to connect with your guide. Many of you are feeling your guide, but you cannot see them very well. And I want you to be okay with that. Because I'm not even seeing it. I just feel like a shadow energy right there. And I know it's the guide, but like I can't see specific, like, is mine a dragon? Is mine a whale? Just, it'll come. It's okay. It's a big energy. You're calibrating to be able to receive more information about your guide. But of course, we're calling in the dragons, we're calling in the whales, as we said. There is a lot of black and white, yin and yang energy. This has been coming through the orcas. It's a lot of black and white codes and energy. So if you normally see things in color and it's black and white, that's why. This might feel weird to you. Let's do a little light language together. Just imitate what I'm doing, but if you kind of start to riff on your own style, that's okay. Lots of zeros and ones. Take deep breaths in between. Please rest assured that you have infinite capacity to receive, infinite capacity to calibrate, and ever so gently we transition our awareness as a group now, just in the same place, we haven't gone anywhere yet, up to a screen or a hologram projected above us. It's quite large. This is the heart of Gaia. This will look similar to the diagram that I created for the group. But it's going to be way more multidimensional. Some of you are very experiential and you are actually flying through the hologram, like you want to go in it. So that's okay. Go in it. It's not the real thing, so you can actually go in it and like look at it from all the angles, because there's information coming through specifically for you. Now, some of you who know which chamber feels most resonant for you will probably be paying more attention to that one. So remember, we have the Earth Codes chamber, the Star Codes chamber, the Dragon Codes chamber, the Water Codes chamber, and in the very middle, the Diamond DNA chamber. So there's technically 5. Some of you are being invited to loosen your body a little bit and potentially move like your hands, like big, like your inner child wants you to go, like you're touching this and like you're like swimming through it or something, is what I'm feeling. And some of you want to expand, almost like you want to do a snow angel in it, like full spread eagle type feeling. This is a feeling for your whole body to experience. That's what experiential a tour is about. Have you ever had a multi-dimensional tour of Gaia? I love it. Okay, beautiful people. We're going to gently bring this part of the tour to a close. Now, there's something we need to address. In order for you to go on this tour to the places that we are being called to work in the coming months and years, there is a contract with the 4D Gaia that you're being asked to dissolve. 4D Gaia is where people work with lower vibrational energies, earthbound spirits, etc., etc. And there is absolutely a place for that. I started my grid work in that version of Gaia. But we are explicitly setting the intention to work with a different set of grids and a different set of things. And in order for us to go there and you to tune into the version of Gaia that we'll be working in, you are being invited to release the contract as a grid worker of 4D Gaia. Some of you have been feeling like you've been finishing up your last little bit of work in that. It's important for you to know and understand that someone else will come in and take your spot so that you don't feel like you're dropping the ball. Okay? So however you want to visualize it, I'm going to call an expert on contracts, lead us through it.
Yes, thank you, JJ. Let's go ahead and just take another deep breath, connecting with our heart space. Let's just go ahead and drop an anchor from our heart space down through our roots, down through our Earth Star chakra, down into the core of Gaia, just grounding ourselves into Gaia as we step into this clearing. Once you feel energetically rooted there, let's imagine that the heart activates a portal in front of you. This is a portal into your sacred heart. And you can imagine it any way you wish, any color you wish, any shape of your choice. Now I'm going to pass it to Anna to further facilitate this release. Thank you.
So can we drop underneath, like even deeper, all of this kind of surface level with big why questions? Underneath of all of this figuring out this stuff with our mind. And we drop into our purest intention and we walk into the sacred chamber of our heart to align our will with the divine will and simply ask what is mine to do here. So whatever your version of God is, God, love, source, universe. So show me, where do I need to clean up my edges? Where do I need to soften? Where do I need to lean in? Where do I need to step out or step up? And it's almost if you would walk into the Holy of Holies, into the altar, to the Divine Mother. You can walk at the same way to the altar of your own Sacred Heart. And if you find this sacred chamber of your heart, and you know that you can open this door with the purity of your intention, and as you open the door with the purity of your intention, and now you walk into the sacred chamber of your heart, and there will be many objects that are going to surround you. You may not see it all at the same time, or not all at once, or maybe not at all, and that's okay. You can also feel this room to be lightened up with the light. Or it could be that the light will take you to the thing or symbol or anything that you need to see. So trust that whatever that unfolds for you this particular moment is guided by your higher self, and it is safe. And as you express this desire to know more, the pure motivation of your heart and what is here for you in the sacred chamber, allow yourself to have been taken closer, either to the altar, to the table, or whatever object that you know that you can put your prayers on, and can also now pick up the object that you will be given. May it be maybe an old contract to remind you about something. May it be the prayer that you once said and then forgotten about it. It could be also something that you left here for yourself for the right time to come and find. And I'm just going to give you a moment of communion. And if some of you were not able maybe to hear the message, that's okay, which means that you will need to come back here again, and maybe again, and maybe again, and maybe again, and start to cultivate this relationship with your heart. But it also, what I feel, allowing your human to soften and knowing that it is safe. It is safe. And what I also hear that knowing the purity of your heart feels like it heals the disappointment, or what it feels like all of the things that haven't come to completion. And can we just allow to all of those things that didn't have to completion this year, last year, this lifetime, many other lifetimes, across all of the lifetime spaces, dimensions, and realities. To be cleared up from our physical body, from our energy field. Knowing that the God is doing a new thing. In this present moment. And whenever you're ready, you can come back gently into your senses, saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for this beautiful sacred chamber, this beautiful altar, anywhere you have been brought within your heart. And remind into your heart that you're going to visit this place maybe a little bit more often right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm not going to ask you what your prayers were, because I feel like they're very personal. And at this particular moment, I invite you to feel the difference between these prayers of your heart being expressed like in the deepest communion, and there are all of the other things that you think you wanted that now like no longer matter, or maybe even they matter, but now they put into a different perspective. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing this beautiful moment of silence and communion with our hearts. Ooh. So for the last couple of weeks, I had a hard time integrating all of the shifts that were happening in my physical body. And one of the things that I realized after bringing this prayer to the altar during the last Sophia circle is that I was still trying to trace with my human awareness what was happening with my body and my energy field. That's just delaying the process and making it even more difficult for myself. So, I mean, the thing that I realized, which now like seems like, of course, it's like, hello, that my mind can hold the multidimensionality of all of my past and experiences. So I'm like, how can I even expect my mind to know what it's doing? So how can I even expect to participate in this integration process, you know? So once I saw it what it is, which is another way of just trying to control the process, I also realized that I can trust my higher self, that I can know that my higher self knows what my higher self is doing, yeah? So I can feel this experience of this acceleration happening and the invitation for us to move faster, like even at the speed of light, if we are willing to, yeah? And if we are willing to give the reins to our higher self and stop projecting or pretending that we know better how to operate our conscious awareness and our divine DNA. So now when I know that higher self has my back and completely install, reinstall, I don't know, calibrate and run my divine operating system like on my divine DNA, and it doesn't need me. And I'm like, oh my God, it doesn't need me. So I can finally relax and focus on something else. So, which is what I'm here to do. Yeah, it's creation. Yeah, it's so liberating. So, yes, great relief, isn't it? So, which processes are you still trying to run? Which is really the job of your higher self? And which jobs are you trying to accomplish that are the job of God? So can we allow our higher self just to take care of our soul evolution and human integration? And can we allow God to do God's work so we can focus on our human work? Ooh, which is for me is just whatever the task that is in front of our face, yeah, in the present moment. So it's not our job to stack those tasks, you know, like do like even like large to-do lists for the next 5 years, yeah, and know how it's going to unfold, because it's all going to unfold in whatever perfect momentum, with whatever capacity and whatever willingness we are willing to step into that, yeah. And if we allow ourselves to be guided and wander and create the spaciousness for all divine solutions to come forward with ease, so all we need is just the purity of our intention, willingness, and the purity of our heart. And we can trust the purity of our heart. So now once you've experienced the purity of your heart when you walk into the sacred chamber of your heart, so you can trust the purity of your heart to guide the way. If we can allow our higher self to do all of our divine and human evolution for us, so we can stop doing this, you know, micromanaging. If we can allow God to pave the way for us, or whatever your version of God is. It's like it seems to me like the first time I actually heard the you know, like what blind faith means. Because like I can close my eyes and I can walk blind if I know that I'm accompanied by God. I can close my eyes and I can allow higher self if I know that my higher self got me. It's okay, you know, like my higher self has my back. It knows what to install, what to reinstall, what to recalibrate for my highest evolution. So when I know that everything is in place, is already running in my favor, and I have already literally like the biggest support that I can ever have. So the only thing that I need to focus is what is right in front of me. So that frees so much more time, so much more space, and so much of my focus. Then all of a sudden we see the whole picture comes together as one. Ooh. Thank you for bringing this in.
Thank you, Anna. That was so beautiful. I'm also feeling an expansion of this awareness. And lately I've heard JJ channel into galactic councils of light and councils of planetary movement, planetary ascension. And so let's go ahead and stay in the awareness of our sacred heart. And let's open up and expand that channel as we connect with the divine heart of the sun, our planetary sun. And in doing so, let's call on the consciousness of the sun together to meld our sacred hearts together with the consciousness of the sun. Oh, in unity and divine grace. If you notice any planetary beings stepping forward, just feel free to invite them to take a seat at the table as we all walk through this Akashic contract release together. So with that, Tom, will you please step forward and assist by calling in the consciousness of the sun and facilitating this release? Thank you.
The Akashic contracts with the sun will go back to its very beginning as a protoplanetary system. So there were agreements between every binary, trinary star system that includes the sun, it includes the star Sirius and Sirius system, Alpha Centauri, the Pleiades. And so we may not necessarily break with these contracts altogether, but the time has come now to change these contracts, break the old ones, create a more revised version that incorporates the sun in its coming of age. Because we're passing into a new epoch, a whole new age of existence for this solar system. And so I send that out to all parties involved with their contracts with the sun, Helios, Apollo, Ra. Recognize the identity of this entity. Recognize that it has grown and it has made its transition into a new level of adulthood. Okay, let's also recognize the ministers of the sun, such as Thoth and Hermes, Ra-Ta. And even those solar cults that branched off. The religions have become corrupted. They have fallen away from the true identity of the whole purpose of the sun and its frequency. And so as Christ, who is an agent of the divine, he said that he comes not to bring peace, but a sword. And so we're bringing a sword to cleave through the dark and the light of the truth and the untruth surrounding the very existence of the sun. And we let all lies fall away, and we infuse light into that truth and make it brighter and spread it all the way out to the orbit of Mercury, out to the orbit of Venus. Bring it home to the spirit of Gaia, or Earth, out to the spirit of Mars, Jupiter, incorporating the asteroid belt in memory of Tiamat, out past Jupiter to Saturn and all of their moons, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. And if we can reach all other planets that are in other dimensions and parallel universes, we reach them as well, putting them all into notification that this is a time of evolution, and make appropriate preparations to accept this new level of energy. In order to heal the sun, we had to call in the help of other stars. And many of those stars answered the call. And they have pledged their energy and their support in healing our sun. Let's give it space. Let's give it time. Let's give it the dimension to finish all of that healing, bringing the sun to a fullness of life and vitality in preparation for when it makes its decision to set off its great solar flash, that it is in full health and capable of doing so. We decree and we declare all of this in the highest good, the best and highest interests of all, by our sovereign authority, and so it is.
Thank you, Tom. That was wonderful. I'm feeling like there's a bit more that wants to come forward from Anna. So Anna, would you mind stepping back in for a moment if there's more to be shared? Thank you.
So it feels that today is going to be dedicated to acknowledging how far we have come. And it is especially the time of the year when we feel like we are wrapping up this current year and starting to envision the next year. At least this is what is happening for me. So I would like, first of all, just to start by acknowledging each of us being in this season that we are in, and that there is nothing wrong if sometimes our focus is split between our different priorities. So I know that sometimes we are so harsh with ourselves and we want to move faster or do more or show up for more. So let's just take a moment to acknowledge each of us here of how far we have come and how much we have accomplished. So maybe that there is something we have learned about our bodies during this year. Maybe we have created a whole new relationship with it. Maybe that our focus was on our relationship. So we might start it, evolve to graduate it, a particular pattern or contract or vow. So let's acknowledge ourselves for the willingness, for the courage and tenacity it took to stay on track with our next steps, even if we have been distracted or life happened. So let's put a hand on our heart and just acknowledge deeply all parts of ourselves by saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And whatever you need to say to all of those parts of yourself, I'm so, so proud of you. I'm so proud of all of you. Well done. And just scan with your awareness this year for yourself up until this moment. And if you can even remember where you started and what were your aspirations, your desires. And if some of you feel like you haven't acknowledged enough or not everything, can we give those parts of ourselves a little bit grace and bring just a lot of self-compassion, knowing that it is okay, that sometimes what looked like a wrong turn could be actually the right one. So I would like for you to feel as well in this cycle that we are right now, wrapping up the autumn and walking into the winter. What are you invited to focus on aside of buying Christmas presents? What is present for you right now? What is emerging? And whenever you're ready, you can share about this in the group, in the message. What is emerging for you right now? What are you becoming aware of? What is the cycle that you are being invited into? Or maybe you're right in the middle of wrapping something up. So while you're typing in, I'm going to share what is present for me right now is the new level of embodiment of my gifts. And it feels like I have a different tone and intentionality around this now. And there is an invitation for me to store these gifts in a different way, step into the next level of mastery as an art of my craft, but also explore it as a resource that I have been given. And I'm specifically going to be focusing on my voice for the next year. Okay, so I'm just going to read your shares. Resting phase before rapid growth, planting seeds for the next level of embodiment. Yes. I'm just entering a new chapter, a new phase in my life, taking more responsibility, embracing the new. Yes. And the winter season is usually for going into the void. So it would make a lot of sense that now we're invited to be into this deep exploration, almost like pausing and working on what it feels like an underground on our roots, working on our roots and our foundations, whatever the foundation means for you. So there are a couple of things that I learned over the last couple of weeks through all transmissions of different containers, like that we are co-leading, that even though our human doesn't know, we can trust God's vision for us. And we can invite God, source, love, universe, whatever your version of God is, to hold our hand. So even if we don't know where we are going, we can still walk the path by being accompanied. And I wanted to read just a small passage from the Sophia Code. And that has been opening up the door for me to explore some things. So you'll understand it in a moment. So this is a paragraph from chapter 8, Green Tara of the Sophia Code. Your human awareness does not need to have all the answers and understand everything to be perfect. Your innocence is your perfection and also your perfect guide to all divine solutions. For it's your natural curiosity, appreciation, and wonder about the miracle of life that frees your awareness to download these divine solutions without effort. Your innocence knows its own beauty through its wonder. That wonder is the medicine for your relationship with life. You're meant to feel wildly alive every day in every moment. Your original design is that of an astounding capacity to feel joy, bliss, yes, even ecstasy every day. But most important is the peace that deeply satisfies you by honoring your innocent nature. So let's just receive these beautiful words with all of our heart and allowing to activate our awareness for this deeper remembrance of this wonder and joy of the innocent child within us. And when I read this invitation about that we are meant to feel wildly alive every day and every moment. I mean, like, how many of us feel wildly alive every day and every moment? I would love to be the first one in line. Yes, thank you for that. So remembering that our original design is that of an astounding capacity to feel joy, bliss, yes, even ecstasy every day. So yes, this brings like a lot of juicy energy within my body. But remembering that it is a wonder, that is a medicine for this relationship with life. So allowing ourselves to experience the world through the eyes of the wonder of the inner child, of our inner child, frees our awareness to download these divine solutions without effort. And you know, like now that I'm living between two places right now, and that has been the most exquisite experience for me, to move between old and new place. So I have been presented with so many opportunities to wander as a child, and at the same time to allow the spaciousness of exploration without jumping to conclusions immediately of what it can be and what it means, or deciding in advance what this would be for me. So just because of the way of this setup, where everything is kind of like very uncertain in my life, so my old me would probably freak out completely in this uncertainty. But present me is just rejoiced to take your time and go on this adventure. And only this time I'm invited to go on an adventure with God. And my inner child like eagerly joins me for the ride. So why I'm talking about this now is that I feel that our human consciousness evolution can happen even quicker. And I can feel this quickening happening since the September. And for the last 2 weeks, I can even recognize, like I couldn't even recognize myself anymore. And I'm like a whole new person who is emerging every single day. So sometimes I just feel like something is shifting. Yeah, it's like I wake up on the next morning, I'm like, who is this person? So, and if previously, like what it felt like it took an era for us, then years, yeah, now like I can feel that we are stepping into the age of miracles, where the shift can happen instantaneously. While there were only few of us who have been kind of like invited to explore this age of miracles as the pioneers, I can feel that doors are now becoming open to everyone who is willing to walk in. And it's for those who bring the purity of their heart and their intention. And it's no longer about like God or whatever your version of that. Can you please like be the servant and serve these things to me like on the silver platter that I think I need? So this is the invitation to co-create and walk with the energies of God, and whatever your version of God is best is, yeah. So let's take a moment to feel into your deepest heart intention. So let's just put back a hand on your heart and just feel into your purest heart desire. And sometimes we are not even allowing ourselves like to admit like this purest heart desires even to ourselves. So why you do what you do? And what is the energy hole that is moving you forward? And what they actually wanted me to mention, that it's not even about conversation about your big why or your work or your life. They actually ask us to drop this, what they say, yeah. Because they say that it's still a human construct to make you feel or look some version of the way. Because what they say, like our even pure desire, this is not about us. And I know that there are so many of us, like we want to take our pathway like so personally. And basically what they're saying, that even our big why doesn't matter if it's not aligned with the divine will of God, or whatever your version of God is. And at this particular moment, I invite you to feel the difference between these prayers of your heart being expressed, like in the deepest communion, And there are all of the other things that you think you wanted that now like no longer matter, or maybe even they matter, but now they put into a different perspective. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing this beautiful moment of silence in communion with our hearts. Ooh. And let's just put hands again on our heart, just gently affirming to ourselves, I'm here. All of me is here. So we can invite God, love, source, universe, whatever your version of God is, to walk with us, to accompany us, or actually accompany us on our path. We can willingly pass the reins to our higher self, to do whatever our higher self needs to do, to ensure the evolution of our consciousness, the evolution of our physical body, our energy field, at the best capacity, in divine timing, with divine grace. So we can free up all of that energy just to tune it back to our heart. Recognizing the purity of our intention and the purity of our heart. And that we can trust that. And by this I now announce, pronounce, and declare it is complete, all lessons known, and it is done, it is done, it is done, and so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, beautiful beings. I'm sending you so much love and so many wonderful blessings. Whew. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sitting in this energy for a moment, I don't feel like this is a small experience for a lot of you. I feel like it's emotional. And I feel like a lot of you, as soon as that contract dissolved, had a lot of armor that just like fell off your body, because your tools and equipment for working with 4D Gaia are different than you'll be using to work with 5D Gaia. And you might feel naked. I feel like some of you are like, where'd it go? Where is it? Like, where'd it go? You're gonna feel a little exposed. And all your guides want you to know is that is not needed any longer. You do not need that anymore. Everybody is being given a wand of light, just a wand of light. place it in your right hand. Okay, hold it in the right hand. Up and down, so vertically. And then slowly move it horizontal and grasp it with your left hand. So now you're holding it across horizontally, and feel the calibration to this new light wand. This is a tool of 5D grid workers, necessary for each of us to have. This is the only one we need. And some of you are going to be like, I had like 465 other kinds of things in my 4D grid work. All you need in this one is this plasma wand. Some of your inner children are very happy, and I can see Harry Potter like crazy right now. You're like, this is like Harry Potter. Yes, it is. Okay. If you have like a little pouch or a little place, we're gonna now put it down so we can keep going. I didn't see who gave it to you. That's okay. You can tune in later and see who gave you yours. Okay, so I did feel Merlin a lot though. So go ahead and put it away right now and bring your awareness back to our group. We will now proceed. We are in a place that has spokes, like behind me. As you know, there are spokes coming out of this image behind me. Each of you will go down one of those corridors. Different one for different people, okay? Your whale or dragon guide will lead you. And yes, obviously, some of you will feel more like you're traveling, like you're going in water, and that's okay. So we're kind of in the center. They're actually going to take us way out to almost the surface area. As you go through, you're going to be hitting layers of grids. And it's important for you to stop at the layer, the grid, which is most resonant for you, and take your time learning more. Like, you can ask your guide about it. Please release the need to make this experience completely visual, because for those of you who aren't getting a lot of visuals, you're going to be frustrated. If you have to draw or write while you are doing this, that might be how the information comes in. It could be like scribbles even. And I'm just going to lightly support your journeys with some light language, okay? As you travel through these different grids and stop when you need to. We are all going to meet on, gosh, I want to call it Lemuria, like an island, Lemuria. We're all going to meet at the end at this place that feels like Lemuria. Here we go. Gajkotoko oko koka anahi mo o ya aha anahi ari aka o ok an ayahi hi. Please, some light language.
Shaya. Oh, Shayana. Oh, Shayana. Asayata. Orkanaya. Alalalala. Arshikananana. Orkananana. Asayakanana tata. Alalalalala. Thank you, I'm complete. And so it is.
Wontekiana wochakiana haya. Wontitina mayana wochakia. Hai nilai wonakiana. Kanditini mama wochamani. Oh mamani yaya. Oh matutara. Om tituna ayana vocha. Gandilinik wona somfrachikia. Woa. Wonik mayana. Wonitik awona yacha. Wonitunim ayana vocha. Wondi dina watcha, oh my dara, oh my dara, oh my dara, watcha kya. Koni waka mocha yana watcha. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you. Allowing yourself to gently coax any parts of you who kind of wanted to linger back to this meeting place we are in Lemurian. It looks like an island to me. It looks like it could be Kauai. And we are in a circle. And there it's definitely unusual. There's a large column of energy coming from the sky down into the middle of us. And it's Star Mother's frequencies. It's interesting. I'm trying to figure out if it's almost like we created it. I don't know how to say it, but like, yeah, we built the container and the Star Mothers are pouring into it. That's what it is. So our circle is the container and the Star Mothers are pouring the energy into it. Just like a pitcher of water. So I want you to open the heart and high heart and allow the energy to flow into those two areas of the body. Go back to where we started, to the emotional body. And call in another word, another emotion. You can just say it out loud. You don't have to type it this time. Just say it out loud when you get it. And our higher selves are telling me that because we are calibrated from this, whatever we just did, all this stuff that we just did, they would like to momentarily, how do I say this, visit you physically. That means your higher self is going to temporarily download into your body for a moment. And they're going to let you judge when you're finished. And when you're finished receiving this energy from your higher self, all you need to say is, "We are complete. Thank you." And so it is. You can be in complete stillness while you receive. You can move. You can speak. You can draw. Believe and trust. Believe and trust. Believe and trust. This is real. You are not making this up. Bringing your hands back to heart center. I now transcend time and space so that everybody who needed to receive for whatever amount of time from their higher self, that can be brought to completion. As if it were an hour, but it were only a few minutes if that's what you needed. And then just go ahead and say the words. Receiving any last piece of information from your whale or dragon guide, whether it's a gift, an object, a word, a thought, a hug, whatever it is. And then with gratitude and love, bringing this part of our tour to a close. Which means we're going to gently come back to the body. I want you to rub your hands together. If they're in prayer, start to rub them together. And breathe. And you can make that sound if it helps you to come back. You can also now transition into some gentle tapping. And because a lot of people are just integrating stuff, could you please ensure that collectively we are brought back to the most aligned place for our lower body and like our upper? So like if the crown was really big, if we can just bring it back to like an aligned place so they can be regular human beings today. Eat, drink, and sleep and do all the things humans do without any problems or discomfort. Work, whatever they're doing right now. Okay, so let me assist your physical body right now, okay, and your emotional body. I want you to come back so that we can do a little bit of sharing in the chat, a little kind of a debriefing to help us integrate. If you need to grab some water right now or a grounding stone, highly recommend that. If you need to stand up to get on your feet, let me show you this powerful stone. This will also help you. The mountain gave us this stone. We were on a hike, me and my boys, and my son told me it was the key to the mountain, but not the mountain we were on. It was a mountain we could see in the distance. So just allowing yourself to tune into this if you would like. It's your choice. It's like, show the back of me too. Okay. This cost free $99. Cost nothing. It's like, you know, all of the crystal shops, it's like you can go find rocks everywhere, right? I always ask for permission to take it. And when we move from where we live now, we have been asked to put this rock back. but we're holding it right now. We land in the power of 3. Okay, I love that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. This is where we share. I want to go ahead also at the very end, there's a little homework that our guides wanted to give us. That came in. Thank you, thank you. I'm just going to set a broad and overall intention that consciously or subconsciously or unconsciously, you are, everybody is detaching from the void, right? We all need to come back fully. So I always just say to my guides, I'm like, if I don't cross all my T's and dot all my I's, can you come up behind me and be my cleanup crew and just like make sure all that happens? So like, I also just want to make sure, like, I'm going to share some things about why I do Lectony if you can go around the group, like as a collective, right? Not individually, but as a collective, and just make sure that everybody feels like they're not in the void anymore. It's for their greatest and highest good. Yeah. Whew. Okay. Fantastic. I'm going to share these vocally because people are listening to the playback. Okay. And let's go ahead and read some of these shares. So what we have here, I felt my higher self downloading incredible information, codes, and energies. Of course, Merlin was my Akash guide who gifted the new wand. That mystical wizard is always so present. Yes. Wow, I thought I would have a whale guide because I'm immensely connected to the ocean. So many dragon eyes came into my visual, and I'm not the most visual person. Then I flew on my dragon. I felt like I made a new friend and had an amazing experience. Awesome. Merlin morphs as a scribe and back again as Merlin, depending on the task. Oh, super fascinating. In the end, I saw a clay tablet on a pillar with light codes on it. I was definitely on a water journey with a whale. We would stop at coral and wonder underwater elements. And then there was a plasma pool, which I played in before I made it to the island. Beautiful. And then someone says, so we do have a 5th chamber because I felt like we needed a center. Yes, we do have that 5th chamber right in the middle of the diamond. Another one says, my guides reminded me to take things simple. I am responsible for the earth chamber. They said, think of it as building a tree. Isn't it beautiful to build a tree for Gaia, just like brushing her hair? Oh, that's awesome. Merlin came to me, as did my emerald golden dragon of Avalon. I saw release to receive on my contract, and I felt a great release with that. And when in Lemuria, I also heard Danu Talis. I saw beams of light and diamond helix with blue rosebuds, and saw the sign of the Cygna. That's the swan. That's the swan, yeah. And received a crown of light and saw the word peace. Yeah. And turning the dial down is coming up. How to turn it down twice. Yeah. Because when we broke that 4D, when we dissolved that 4D contract and brought it to completion, one of the words I like to use that helps other parts of us that are a little hesitant, they don't like the word dissolve. They don't like the word rip it up because they're still hanging on to it. So that's why I use the word for those little parts of us. We're bringing it to completion. Remember, we finished the circle, right? Like we're closing the circle. Like when you do your little steps and the circle closes, everybody's like, yay, my circle. I closed all my circles today. It's like we're closing a circle. So that's another word you can talk to those parts of you about when we do that. And by the way, thank you for that. It was emotional. I felt that. Another person says, although I have been working with earth dragons, my higher self pointed to a mother whale. I tuned in with her. Her parting gifts were 3 whale babies and a ride for my inner child on her back. My word was grace. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Keep sharing if you can. I didn't know I had a 4D Gaia contract, but when I released the contract, I felt a strong ping release in the left top of my heart. I felt so emotional and started crying. I felt so vulnerable, like I was really naked. Yep, I felt people felt that way. I then felt comforted and I heard this, I was safe and I was protected. I laughed when I got the wand. I saw black and white flashes when downloads were coming in. I could see a whale leading me, but my dragon on the side of me. I'm not really getting that it was part of one or the other. Oh, so cool. I love that. I heard peace, completion, and love. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I felt high heart and throat warmth and language from the Star Mothers heavily. My word was warmth, and my dragon said, "You are safe, and I am always here." My dragon guide leaned into my third eye, and my third eye invited me to allow more visions through. I am ready to see more. I am ready to see more. Beautiful. I was taken to the redwoods and shown the inside of mountains and elementals, birds of prey, and they all flocked to me with my dragon. It felt like a reunion, and tears were streaming down my face. Amazing. I walked on an earth bridge surrounded by water with a humpback whale in the water and a dragon above me in the sky. At my grid point, I connected deep with the core of Gaia, and she cleansed the energy moving up and down from the core through spirals of light. Gaia shared the renewed energy back with me. It felt freeing, uplifting, and empowering. Amazing. Keep sharing, please, please, please. I can't read them all, but your energy is coming in, and it's helping you integrate as you share. I've been guided by a very large dragon like a mother going through multiple tunnels in a blue plasma spectrum, going fast and making rounds around the earth, seeing Gaia underneath. I also saw complex energy fields, vortex, and technological devices. In the end, the mother dragon gave me a goodbye kiss. Oh, so beautiful. So beautiful. Oh, wow. Yeah, keep your sharing. We'll be here for a few minutes longer, and so I want to just allow you to just integrate by that. Let me tell you why I got the ping to release the contract. We were standing in the orientation, and I heard our guide say, "We're going to go in some tunnels." And when I heard that, there were many people here who got a great deal of fear. And that is because within certain frequencies that people tune into, there's a lot of lower vibrational energy attached to the word tunnels. You know what I'm talking about? We needed to know and understand that what we are working with is not that. And that's why we had to dissolve those contracts. They said, do not send them to any tunnels until they have released their contract with 4D Gaia. That's how it works. That's how I got that download, in case you cared to know. Why? Because that was not planned. That was not planned at all. Okay. Hang on. Just give me a second. Woo. Homework. Home play. Home play. We are being somewhat called out. I don't want to say that we're being shamed, because we're not, but we're being sort of reminded very gently that some of us have felt that we needed to incorporate more daily ritual into our lives. And we have not been doing that, what we have been receiving. And it has come through many times, and we still aren't doing it. And so the guides are saying, remember all the downloads you've been getting about doing a daily ritual and taking that time to do your daily ritual? Why aren't you doing it yet? What we are being told is dedication. What you put in is what you will get out. You've heard that before. It's all over the place. All the coaches use it. It's the same for this. So we have to release any and all programming we have about habits and rituals, because there's a lot of religious programming in that. That reminds us of school. Practice your times tables, blah, blah, blah. Do this, do that. It feels like a drudgery. It feels like an assignment. So we have to somehow come into the energy of a daily ritual to calibrate, which is what's happening, in a different way. We have to redefine what that means. Just like at the beginning, we had to redefine sacred, sanctity, reverence. You can just throw all those words out and use the word calibration. Your body will not be able to physically handle what this group is going to undertake if you do not have a consistent calibration ritual activities. I'm sorry, they're just wanting me to be blunt. Let me give you an example since I'm seeing people ask. You guys see this necklace? I was raised in a Christian religion that said recited prayers were horrible. We should never do them. Chants, mantras, you know, doing the rosary and all that. Doing the Lord's Prayer was bad, all this kind of thing. Because it kind of was taking, and that particular religion went the other opposite end because they were undoing, I see the role, they were undoing the recited prayers that had lost their meaning because people didn't understand why. But I bought these mala beads. They were hanging on the wall because I have this hook and for a coat actually, and I just had it in front of my altar, and duh, they're sitting on the wall over my altar like this, just to sit them there because my jewelry, I don't want it all tangled up. And my guide said, duh. So I shared the other day to my subscribers on Instagram. They had me do a prayer for each bead, but guess what my prayer was? It was just light language that wanted to come out. It was just whatever. It was, and I moved my finger down the bead. And I told the people on my subscribers on Instagram, I said, I have ADD. I do not do well sitting and meditating in complete silence. That's not my style. So I need a tactile experience. And I just moved my hand down the beads. And when I'm done, guess what? I'm done. I hang it up and I go make breakfast for my kids or whatever I need to do. That's my calibration ritual. And so it is. It is not 3 hours long.
Thank you, JJ. What an amazing reminder that we can find routine even in the subtleties, even in the little things. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of creative imagination and reworking of things that are already available to us. So thank you so much for that invitation to ponder on this daily ritual. Thank you to the guides for bringing it forward as our home play creation, as it were. Oh, and thank you so much to this group. What a wonderful calibration. And let's finalize this piece of integration with a little bit of light language. Thanking our guides and everyone that stepped forward today to assist with these calibrations. Just taking some deep breaths now and allowing all of the information to fully integrate into our bodies as we sink deeply into our roots and allow this energetic transference to take place. Kore shaiti ya nanana on sonanaya on konanaya on shoi nananaya oi nananaya oi nananaya an shana nanana akakakaka adididididi an shona nanaya nanana an shona nanaya nana Anshona nanaya nanana akakakaka akayata Anshona nanaya akayata
We are
Asayata orkanana Ashayana nana. Umkoria nana. Amkoria anana. Shayanta nana. Sokonayana. Umkonayana nana. Shakanana. Akiatata. Anitila. Aliandada. Anitila. Just gently affirming to yourself, yes, thank you, I accept, I receive. Yes, thank you, I accept, I receive these codes. I allow its integration to materialize and strengthen inside my body. Thank you. And as we complete this portion of the transmission, let's join each other in deep gratitude. And another big thank you to JJ and all of our helpers and friends who stepped forward to co-facilitate this energetic release today and the tour of 4D Gaia as we step into the next best version of ourselves. We're so grateful for the release and the closeout and completion of all contracts, of all that no longer serves these next set of highest timelines to our next level of existence. We thank you. We honor you. We express so much gratitude for this integration. And for the co-creation, as it takes all of us being here together for this wonderful information to come through. As we transition into the next phases of our journeys. We're so grateful for the release of these energies as we clear out space for the new. Releasing it all with love and blessings in service to the highest good of every all. Thank you. And so with that, we'll go ahead and pass it back to the live team for the next piece. Thank you.